Thanks for joining my channel once again on the BI Edge. Appreciate all your support watching these videos. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. So today we're going to go through some SQL again in Google Cloud or BigQuery using the sandbox feature here. We've got the data set here of car info, and we're just having a little play around here, doing some averages and a few bits and pieces. So basically all you do is you just click on it. You can favorite these if you want to practice on them. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go up to the plus button. I can start querying like that. Or I can go down here to SQL Query and that'll open it. Alternatively, I can go open SQL Query here in Split tab, which is typically what I like to do because I can look at the variables here while I'm learning SQL as I go. Okay, so select to start off with. Okay, so we want to select the variable. Okay, and we want something that's an integer because it's just a little bit easier to get the sum when it's a quantitative piece of data and not a word or a qualitative piece of data. So I'm going to do the sum, and you'll see here, just like the M language in Power Query, it comes up with some expression. So I click on that and I go, okay, so what do I want to sum here? So let's just say, for example, I want to do curb underscore weight. Okay, so I want the total curb weight, okay, from this particular database. Okay, I'm going to bring my limit back to 100 here. So I just want the top 100, and I'll go run. Okay, and my results down there. Okay, so I've got my value down here. So that's the total of curb weight out of all the values within the data set there. So I can change this to 1,000 here. I can run. And that's the good thing with the limit is you can change it accordingly. It doesn't really matter with a sum or an average. Now, if I want to average this next, what I can do is I'm just going to go through a similar process here. Okay, I'm going to go A, B, G. Okay, and then go again for just curb weight. So I get my green light there, and I'm going to run. Okay, and I'm going to find the average there of that variable. Okay, within that particular data set. So pretty easy there when we're just sort of looking at sums and averages in SQL, sort of the basic sort of stuff. What else can I show you here? So, we can look at minimum and maximum based functions here. So once again, commands. So I can go select min here. Okay, let's just select min. Okay, and we're just going to go curb weight again. Okay, so the minimum value curb weight from this particular data set. Okay, and it'll come up. Okay, that's the lowest weight in terms of the curb weight of all vehicles within this particular database. And then alternatively, we can also go here and go to max. Okay, and it's just the same thing again. We are maxing the curb weight and running here. Okay, we have the value here. All right, so we can do the same for all different kind of variables here. We can look at horsepower. We can look at price. If I want to look at price, what's the most sort of expensive car within this data set? We can go price here. Okay, I can go run. Okay, and then you can see that 45,400 is the most expensive car by price there. If I want to look at the cheapest car or most affordable car within this data set, I would just go down. I would just go min here again on price. This is a good way to sort of start here, just starting on one variable, just learning all the different kind of functions that one variable, and then you start getting into group by and joining variables and running greater than and less than functions. Just like you're building up in Excel, it's the same process. You start off with the basic functions of sum, average, count, min, max, standard deviation, and then you start moving into sum if, count if, average if, and then bring in those functions to get more detailed analysis. It's the same thing in SQL. And we'll progress through that as we build up these videos. But this is just a nice, easy way of showing how to query in databases. Okay, so the minimum value there is $0, which is probably just an empty value within the data set there. And we can also have a look at the maximum engine size. That might be a good variable too to sort of have a look at here. Engine. Okay, and then size, run. So 326 there. Okay. All right, so that kind of just gives us a bit of a rundown here on some basic querying in SQL. So what I can now do is I can close this tab. Just go, yeah, close, that's fine. Not too worried about the work. And what I can do now is, I can do the same thing. I can reopen a split tab. And what I can also do is I can go, right, well, I want to open this in Google Sheets or Google Looker Studio. Okay, so let's just say I want to, just waiting for that to load. So as you can see here, this is now this data in the Google Cloud platform in the database is now connected here to um, dashboard in Looker Studio that I can now customize here to draw insights from. Okay, so let's just say that this is not helpful to me, these variables. So I'm just going to get rid of these charts that have come up straight away. But if I want to compare two variables, for example, right, I might go, yeah, curb weight's okay, or I might go, let's say I want the price of the car. Let's get price here with curb weight. Okay. I can go, we've got price and curb weight here. So we can sort of have a little bit of a look at what the relationship is there. I can change the chart type up here, sorry. So coming up, go combo chart. Okay, so I can kind of see what's going on there. Price. So, if I want to try and change this up, I can also move those variables around. And that kind of gives me another idea there with the line, the relationship between curb weight and price. If curb weight isn't really what I want here, I can go, okay, well, I can get rid of curb weight and I can go engine size versus price. Okay, so let's go price down there, engine size here. Okay, so we now have that there. Okay, that's not really going to work there on that type of graph. So what I can do here is go back up again and change it here. Okay, not really as strong with what I would have thought. So we're just going to go the price there versus curb weight again. Okay, so now we can sort of look at the relationship here between these two lines here. So we know that Toyota has a higher curb weight, which is associated with a higher price there typically. And we can sort of see that there's a relationship here as we drop in curb weight, so does the price of the vehicle. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. A little bit there. Subaru, not as much as a Jaguar, a bit tighter there between the two, not as much of a disparity. And then kind of work it out from there. Okay, so we can just build out a dashboard there. If I want to change this up, I can come down here. Okay, and we can call this car analysis. Car analysis. And to change the font, we just come over here. Yeah. So now we have that there, the car analysis dashboard. Now, let's say that, I just want to make these a bit smaller because I want to get more on a page. I can do this. An important variable to add in this particular dashboard might be, the type of fuel system, for example, or fuel type. So let's just go, before I go fuel type, yeah, I think it's under fuel type, not fuel system. We'll have to have a look here. Okay, and I'm going to go down for a drop-down list here. Okay, for fuel type. So I've got gas here and I've got diesel. So I can compare this now. So I can go, okay, well, what's the relationship here between just gas-based vehicles, between price and curb weight? What's the relationship between diesel and price with curb weight? So, diesel is much lower in sort of consistently in curb weight than gas is. There's not as many sort of spikes there with the car. There's not a bigger disparity. So they're just sort of little things that you can sort of pick up here. Obviously, we can rename that down here to clean that up a little bit, but that just kind of gives you a bit of an idea there how to build out a dashboard and query in BigQuery. So if your business has a lot of data and you want to put it up on cloud, then being able to sort of come in here and uh, connect it into BigQuery and then build your models through Looker Studio is a great way to automate this without having to pay a lot of money to Microsoft to buy more products if you're a smaller based business. So that's probably who I would sort of recommend this for. Okay, we've got horsepower over here on the next one. Okay, we can have a look at the different vehicles here by horsepower next. Okay, so we know Toyota is the most powerful, Nissan, Mazda. Okay, and once again, we can have a look at horsepower. The diesel, okay, Mercedes is the strongest for horsepower there for diesel-based cars. And then if I'm looking at gas, Toyota's the strongest. Okay, so there's so many ways that we can slice and dice our data using these dashboards to then develop stories to to a non-technical based audience to drive data-driven decisions within business. Thanks for listening to me today, guys, and I look forward to catching you in the next video. Cheers.